We got a big fight going down Saturday night. Jermell Charlo fights Brian Castaño in a rematch for the undisputed junior middleweight world title. And we've got New York Post boxing writer Schwartz with us to talk about all the hype surrounding the fight. Now, Jared, in the words of Debo from the movie Next Friday, this is the rematch. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding the decision from the first fight. So what should fans expect this go around?
Look, there is a ton of controversy coming from the first fight. Both fighters left that fight thinking they did enough to earn the victory, to become undisputed champion, but they left with a split decision draw. The discussion surrounding that fight is everything that has mattered and has been important to both fighters and in their careers since they left that ring. I talked to Charlo before this fight. He immediately wanted this rematch in order to prove that he's the man in this division, that he really is the undisputed champion, and that he's one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the game right now. You know, he's not tired of kind of the conversation surrounding the first fight in terms of, you know, people thought he deserved to lose, or there's a lot of controversy over scoring in the fight, but he is ready to put some of that conversation to bed, to quiet some of the critics over people saying, you know, he's not the deserving champion or he deserved to lose in the first match. He wants to put some of those critics to bed. He wants to prove that he's the man in this division, and that he's the rightful undisputed champion. And he thinks some of that rhetoric and some of that discourse plays into his hands in terms of the fact that Brian Castaño thinks he's already won the fight, the fact that most people who watch think Castaño beat him and is the superior fighter. He thinks that plays into his hands and will help him inside the ring on Saturday night.
Well, he does hold 3 or 4 belts in that division. And let's talk about this conversation you had with him. What did he tell you about what this fight would mean to his legacy in terms of Jermell Charlo?
Look, he knows he's not shying away from it. This is a legacy fight for him. He already owns 3 of the titles in the junior middleweight division, but he knows this is the last obstacle before becoming the undisputed champ, the best in the division, really just the man in the division. He's talked about he's not on those pound-for-pound boxing lists yet. He's not recognized as maybe one of the 10 best fighters or one of those faces of boxing that we think of in terms of some of these lucrative pay-per-view fights. He thinks winning this, becoming undisputed, proving that he's the man in the division, proving that he's one of the best boxers right now in the game, he thinks that will allow him to get onto some of those pound-for-pound lists and even have him knocking on the door of the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Ooh, well, it all goes down Saturday night on Showtime. Castaño versus Charlo. Jared, thanks for joining us, my man.